Hey guys, Huzz here, bringing you another video. Now this is a rare video, I don't go in camera much, as my webcam has been a bit dodgy recently, but it actually has got back into kind of working with the software, just not with the streaming software OBS. But as you can tell by the title of this video, this is a setup video. I'm going to be showing you, my setup, what do I use, and I'll be giving like a quickie mini review to each product that I use, just to kind of give you an insight. If you're looking for new gear, I thought this may be useful, and the reason behind I make this video is because so many people ask me on a daily basis of, what keyboard do I use, what mouse do I use, headset, the list goes on, as it is quite a popular question. So how we're going to do this video is, well, disclaimers, I am using my webcam, which I will be going over what make it is. I think I know what make it is, but yeah, I'll be going over, using my webcam to film it. Which may not be the best of quality. Now, as it's stationary right now, it may look okay, but when I'm moving it around, it may not look the best. It's an okay webcam, but I never invested in like a massive or really good one, as I never really use it that much to have it or quantify a massive, really good webcam. So the first thing we'll do, and I will warn you, this may go as a long video because I'm going to be talking about every product in there, so you can skip maybe along if you don't want to listen about the mic or anything like that. But the first thing we're going to go into is this here. This is the mic that I use to record, and I'm actually using that right now. This is the thing that I've had recently into my setup, and I really like it. It's the mic itself. So this thing here is an Audio-Technica AT2020. It's a fairly good mic. I think it's a USB condenser mic, but I do actually use a Blue Icicle with it for volume control and better quality. But I use that microphone with a pop filter, with a boom stand, and the Blue Icicle, which you'll see when I move the camera around. And I've had no complaints. The quality seems to go up from like headset mics by quite a bit. It's just the only thing with me with videos is the volume. A lot of people complain about the volume, where for me it's normally fine, but it seems maybe I have to just boost the volume normally, than I would normally. So that is that microphone. It will be linked in the description as mentioned, and I've got no complaints. It was really easy to set up. The spider mount here, this thing with elastic, they're quite dodgy the first time you do one, but it's really easy to set up now. And how I found this mic is actually through a YouTube channel called Rooster Teeth. Now, if you haven't heard of Rooster Teeth, I'll be fairly surprised, but they're huge. They're based in Austin, Texas, and they use these microphones in a lot of their recordings still to this day. And they're like a channel of 7 million subscribers, and all of their staff use that mic. So that's the reason I pretty much got it, and it seems to be doing the job completely fine. That's where I learnt it from anyway. Now you may be learning it from me. As for the other stuff, so I'll be showing you stuff that I can just do while sitting down, and then I'll take up the webcam and show you the other things. So headset. This is a Corsair Vengeance 2100. Their wireless mouse. I think it may be the best mount headset. It's probably their best headset I think they do right now. And it's pretty good. I was a bit skeptical at first about a headset. I'll actually take it off so you can get a better look. So sides, you've got the on and off button. You've got the microphone here. Sorry if my hands don't really react quickly. I don't do this much, but if it's down like that, it means the mic's working. If it's like that, it's muted, which is actually a really nice feature that not many mics actually have. Well, some of them do, but I find it really useful. But yeah, it's fairly cool. You've got the charging bit here, if you can see that, and you've got a flashing light to tell you every now and then that it is still on. There you go, it just flashed. It's a really faint flash, and then it also beep in your ear when it needs charging, which I find useful, obviously. So yeah, it's a good headset. Would I recommend it for you to use? Honestly, if you're in the market for a wireless headset, I'd recommend this or the Logitech G1. I think it's a G5 of memory. I'm not really sure. That could be wrong, but yeah, either this or that. This is a bit pricey. From memory, this is £120, so I don't know what that translates into other currencies, but it is quite pricey, but it is good. Obviously, it's good. I wouldn't have it if it wasn't, and I would have just taken it back. But yeah, it's good. Definitely worth the money, in my opinion. But as for if you want a wired headset, there are obviously better options than this. You can permanently plug this in, but it doesn't have a wired mode. It will, even if you plug it into the charging dock, it will always be wireless from the receiver, which you can have mixed emotions. I actually have occasionally had a small delay with this by about a second or so. it's a bit annoying when that happens, but it's when it's on low on battery, so you just have to plug it in. So I am actually going to be in the market soon for another headset, but not like this one, not with the mic. Hopefully, you can see now. I'll go over there. But I'm going to get one without the mic feature, just as a headset for music and that type of thing. Now, this is useful that if I'm being bugged to tidy my room, I can just tidy it and listen to music still. Or if I'm in team practice, I can go downstairs, make a drink. If my team's talking about, things we need to improve, and I can be downstairs still listening to what they have to say. So in that respect, it's really good. And I would recommend this headset. Now, other things on my desk. So as mentioned, I'll do the stuff on my desk first before getting up. We've got a Razer Black Widow keyboard. Now, this has to be my favorite keyboard of all time. Now, the good things about it is I love it. And it's very hard to actually say why I love it. I never had a mechanical keyboard before this. This was my first one. And I honestly don't think I'll go back to a normal keyboard. The only time I'd go back is if this broke and the only one in my cupboard is a normal keyboard. But it is fairly loud, so I'm just going to press a couple keys. Now, it is quite close to the mic, it's just going a little bit down, so it's quite loud. And a lot of people, when I do live commentary, say, God, your keyboard's loud, and yeah, it is. So, would I recommend you getting this keyboard? Yes. But there are better versions of this one. Now, this one is about a year old. I think this was the 2013 edition. I could be wrong, but I think it is. Yeah, it is the... it says in there, it's the Razer 2013, I don't need to show you that. But there is now a newer version that has, I think, blue keys. I think these are reds. That blue key's a lot quieter. Now, hopefully, I'm not losing you with technical bits here, but basically, mechanical keyboards have different keys underneath, each key, and that's what makes them mechanical and different. So these are reds, and they're fairly loud, but the blue ones are quiet, and you wouldn't really tell it's mechanical. So I'd recommend getting the Razer Black Widow. I'd just recommend getting the quieter keys, as it's very loud, and you do have to kind of think about it when it's late at night, if you are in, a family home. But it's a great keyboard, and I'd recommend anybody to get one of these. So as for the mouse, I have a Razer, again. Razer, if you're listening, sponsor me, because I buy everything from you, apart from this. Now, this is a Razer Naga 2014 edition. Now, I am a big fan of these mice. I had a Razer Naga Molten edition before this one, and honestly, there wasn't really anything wrong with it when I got this new one. I just wanted to kind of try the new model. It was a bit different in shape, and the buttons were a bit different, and it just felt a lot better. So build quality, as with the keyboard, build quality is right top notch. It's Razer. Although a lot of people think they're overpriced, you're going to be getting a good product. So yeah, you can tell I'm a big fan of Razer. So now the only thing I'll say about this, if you only play League of Legends, you do not need this mouse. You can get a so much cheaper mouse just for League of Legends. You don't need all these 12 buttons. That's what you're paying for at the end of the day with this mouse. You're paying for all these 12 buttons. You're paying for the software that comes with it, that you can customize, macro all these buttons away, that you just don't need for League of Legends. Now, the reason I got this mouse is because I had a World of Warcraft background, and I rebound all these, and I play other games still to this day that may require me to rebind, one being WildStar, that's going to be coming out soon. So I'll be definitely using this when WildStar comes. But I do use this for League as well, and it's, I'm used to it, so it's completely fine for me. Now, another mouse that I'd probably recommend, if you play other games, perfect mouse to get. If you only play League of Legends and you may have chunky hands like me, I have really wide hands, I'd probably recommend the Phoenix one. I don't remember the exact name of it, but the Phoenix one is similar in width because this is quite a wide mouse, but it doesn't have the extra buttons because you don't need them. Now, the only problem with the Phoenix one is it doesn't have any customizable. You can't change, my number 7 is actually F8 on my computer that I use for TeamSpeak. You can't do that on the Phoenix one. It doesn't have any rebindable keys. Therefore, you have to use the default ones if you were to use a mouse button for a push-to-talk function on TeamSpeak or something. Again, sorry if I lose you. I try not to go too technical with this, but occasionally I have to. Now, other things on my desk before we get up and show you stuff, I thought I'd briefly show you. It's part of my setup. I do use it. Is my iPad, and I've got TSM on the back, and yeah, it's fairly useful to have occasionally. If I show you in here, I've actually got the Absolute Zero wallpaper at the back there, which I'll actually show you in a minute on my other screen. But yeah, this is it's fairly useful. I like iPads. They were quite nice. In bed you're just watching something on Twitch. I have Twitch on here, and yeah, it's useful for that, and it's part of my setup. So I thought I'd mention I have one. Now, the only other thing that's on my desk, And if you want to see it, I suppose, is the mouse mat. This is, hopefully, this is a SteelSeries cloth mouse mat. It's fine with me. You know, mouse mats don't make a big difference, and I found this in PC World for about 10 quid that was actually labelled wrong. It's supposed to be 20, and I got it for 10. So that's pretty much why I got this. The only thing that I'll probably say is I'm actually going to be getting a new desk soon. You'll see the desk in a minute. And when I get a bigger desk, I'm going to get, I think it's called a Razer Goliath. I think that's the really long one that your keyboard and mouse go onto, and yeah, I'll be getting that. It's a lot more stable. But yeah, mouse mats don't really make a difference in performance at all, really. As long as it makes your mouse move around on a surface that it may not, then it's fine. So this is the point that I'm going to pick up the camera right now, and I excuse my camera skills because obviously it's a webcam, and I'm probably going to be terrible at this. So bear with me. So here we go, picking up. I've already practiced this move here, so down like that, and ta-da, 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 ta-da. So there we go. We did it fairly easily. Now, as I mentioned it, there's the absolute zero background. Hopefully, I'm focused on it because I don't have the software to kind of look what's happening on. But there's my desktop. I don't know if you can see it that well, but there is the AZO logo. Yeah, you can see it. And there's my other screen that's actually running LCS. Now, I don't want to show that too much because I could get in trouble for it being in this video. But if we go back a little bit, you can see there's my desk. So it is a small glass desk, and this is what I have to deal with, as I do want to have a bigger one. There's the cable mess, and there's the computer, which I'll go on to in a minute. But yeah, it's perfectly fine. You know, the only thing, I don't have a lot of moving space with my mouse. That's why my mouse sensitivity is really high, is because every single mouse movement matters for me. I have to make it pretty damn quickly to get to one side of the screen because I don't have like a whole area to drag it along. But it's good enough for me. So that's my setup. That's my desk area. My two monitors are both Asus 21.5 inches, I think. Now you may ask, why don't I have bigger monitors? Simple answer is, I'll do it on this monitor. It's LCS. In 21.5 inches, if you look directly in the center of the screen, it means your peripheral vision is basically perfect for this size. And you may be like, what the hell is that about? Right, if you look right here, I do not have to move my eyes, and I can see here and I can see here without moving my head. Therefore, I have quicker reaction time because, you know, you move your head, that takes a little bit of time to do. I don't need to do that with that monitor. Now, you may ask, what monitor do I actually play League of Legends on? I play it on my right one. If I'm streaming, or the stream and like the browsers I search in that, go on that screen. So I do play on this screen right here. Seating position, so you can kind of get an idea. I'll put the webcam level to my eyes. There we go. So that is kind of what I see. That's a bit odd, but yeah, that's kind of what I have the vision of. So it's they are on shelves, and I did it so high that they are directly middle with my eye height. So that's, you know, I have put thought into my setup, which some people don't. They just like throw it all in, but I have put some thought into. So the mic itself. So we'll go over the setup again. There's the Audio-Technica AT2020 down there. You've got the shock mount, you've got the Spider shock mount, and you've got the Blue Icicle, which I mentioned, that has the volume control there, and I find it extremely useful. Now this wire goes all the way down, follows the boom arm, and then eventually ends up in the computer. Now I'm a great cameraman, I know. So the computer is the case is a Next Phantom full gaming case. Now I thought mine was a massive case. It is big, but Fi actually has a bigger case than me, which I was really surprised with. But this computer I've had for a couple of months. I'm actually going to have a link to a different video up here right now that is just about the computer if you want to just see the specs. I made a video about that when I first got it. But yeah, it's perfect. It has a GTX 780 in it, 16 gig RAM, all what I really want. But yeah, go watch that video if you do want to learn a little bit more about my computer. And then finally, the boom arm itself that I will quickly go over. It has a clamp mount that just goes under this shelf here, goes all the way up, and then eventually lands onto the mic. So that is my setup. I'll just go a little bit out just to give you an overall view of it. There we go. You've got my power line adapter right there. That makes my connection wired, even though the wireless router is the other side of the house. So I'll actually link them as well. Just a brief summary of what they are. It's the thing with the light down there. It basically, you plug one of them into the computer or Xbox, whatever you want, connected to the internet wirelessly, and then you plug the other one into where your router is, and it goes through the copper cabling of your house to make your internet connection wired. It's really good. I'd probably lose about 20 down if I used wireless, so that's a lifesaver right there for me, especially in the uploads. So although I need to clean that, that's my setup. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. You know, many people asked for it, and I will say all the stuff is linked in the description. And if you have any questions, I have had a lot of gear in the past and I know quite a bit about it, so feel free to ask in the comments. And that's it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. So, goodbye!